Having some technical issues, so it won't be live streamed. If anybody is planning on, if your spouse or somebody is live streaming it, it's going to be recorded and shown later. So just to let everyone know that. Welcome. Thank you to all the visitors here today. I think this is the biggest group we've had. Thank you to my 6th grade jurors. Thank you to mock trial students. You all look very good. My name is Corey Martin. I am Luci's mom. I've been an attorney for over 20 years, a litigation attorney. And I think this is our 8th year doing mock trial. I think it was about 10 years ago. We all know how important after school clubs are. And we were concerned that the funding might be there. And Mrs. McDowell at the time was a principal, sent out an email like, we may not have as many after school clubs, but if any parents want to volunteer, we would love to keep clubs going. And I thought, maybe we could do a mock trial, and sent an email and got a call right away. Like, yes, get in here right now. How can we make this happen? Mr. McCusker was the same way. Reached out to 21st Century, spoke with Darletta Berry Johnson, who then was very supportive, anything we can do. But most important, I needed people to help. So I thank my fellow moderators from the bottom of my heart. I will let you guys introduce yourselves and say a little bit about yourselves if you would like.
I'm Corinne Chronicle. I'm Judge Chronicle, so this is my courtroom. I'm a district judge for Morrisville, Yardley, and Lower Makefield. My daughter, Violet, is in 8th grade. She isn't participating this year, but hopefully she'll be participating at Commonwealth Egan next year. And yes, this has just grown over the years, and it's amazing. And I love that everyone looks like little lawyers, and you're all amazing. And don't be nervous. You guys are all going to be great.
Joe?
I'm Joe Pargola. I'm Bella and Joey's dad. This is fun for me because this is year 8, and this is the first year that I've had a child that's old enough to actually participate as an attorney or witness. So I'm looking forward to this. It's been a lot of fun working with everybody's kids this year. They've done a really good job. And let's knock it out.
Keith Halloran. My oldest daughter went through the program a couple of years ago, and now my Ella is here as a juror. I've been an attorney for about 25 years. I've been doing this for 7 years, and it's been a great time. I've really enjoyed working with the kids.
Thank you. Like I said, it wouldn't work without the 4 of them, and not to toot our own horns, but when we started it, we didn't have kids in middle school, but we knew it really was a program that needed to be toward middle school students. And I think in the years that have gone on, we like it more than they do. It really is a fun time. Again, this is a little repetitive if you've been here some years. Some of you have heard this speech before, but I think it's important to talk about your kids and how great they are. Classes 1 and 2, we talk about becoming a lawyer, going to law school, why you might become a lawyer. All 4 of us do very different things, but have the same degree. We talk about how diverse a law degree is. And then we talk about trial procedure, criminal law, the burden of proof in a criminal case versus civil law, opening, closing, direct, cross. Then we give them the fact pattern, and they do all the work. Most of it is outside. We only meet 5 times for an hour a week. We expect them to do work, read through the program, figure out what your arguments are, work with your witness. They write their direct and cross. This isn't an acting class where we write everything out and they're reading it. They have notes. Most of them know it well enough to go off their notes, but we understand that they get nervous. And I haven't seen it all the way yet. I've only seen my side, but I say it every year. Our students are incredible public speakers, and I credit that to Holy Trinity 100% because they've been doing it since they were little. But most of you guys are better public speakers than a lot of attorneys I see every day. So keep it up. Be confident, loud, proud. I also forgot to mention we have 2 representatives from the 21st Century. Mr. Paul and Mr. Jim, I'm sure they'll have a few words after the trial. But without further ado, I will turn it over to Judge Chronicle.
All right, I'm just going to go pop on my robe, and then we're going to start the case of State versus Alli.
You're good. You're doing an opening, right?
Yeah. Wait, Mrs. Martin, how do I wear it?
Clips on.
You're going to swap the microphones.
All rise.
Back and forth. Just make sure the light's green.
Okay, everyone can please have a seat. Thank you.
Can I hold it?
Okay, good afternoon. We are here today for the case of State
I hold
versus
it?
Alli. Prosecution, whenever you are ready, you can begin.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Schools should be a safe place. It would make you feel better if you knew the school was doing everything in their power to make sure there was no drug possession among the students. Keeping children safe is what is at stake here. This is a school that has had recent problems with drug possession and drug selling. We are here today because the defendant was charged with possession of marijuana. We will prove that our case is beyond reasonable doubt. You will hear from the principal of the school, also a classmate who witnessed the defendant's reaction when the marijuana was found in her backpack. You will hear from her science partner who witnessed the defendant's reaction when the marijuana was found in the backpack, and how the recent distraction caused an explosion in the science lab. Finally, you will hear from the private investigator who found the marijuana in her backpack. At the end of our witness's testimony, you will come to the reasonable conclusion that the defendant was guilty of possession of marijuana.
Defense. Right for your opening.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Imagine you go to a yard sale to look for a backpack. You find one and it's in pretty good shape, so you buy it. But next thing you know, you're being put in handcuffs and charged with possession of marijuana. This is what happened to my client, Alli. Alli is a good student. She is in band and track, both of which require very strong lungs and breathing capacity. When the backpack was searched by Mr. Tilman, a private investigator who has over 17 years of experience, noted that he almost missed the pocket containing the marijuana. So what are the odds that Alli, an inexperienced high school student, could have missed the pocket as well? There was also no report of a drug test performed on the defendant. Alli's teachers and peers have nothing but good things to say about her. She is a hard-working student who is dedicated to her studies and after-school activities. But ultimately, the fate of Alli is in your hands. Do you really think the future of this hard-working high school student should be thrown away because she was charged with a crime she didn't commit? The effects of being charged with possession of marijuana go far beyond the fine and rehabilitation. It could negatively impact Alli for the rest of her life. You, the jury, will listen to the evidence presented in this case and will need to make a decision about Alli and her future. Thank you.
Okay, prosecution, please call your first witness.
We call up
Mr. Tilman.
I will.
Okay, Mr. Tilman, before you take a seat, I'm just going to ask you to raise your right hand, place your left hand on that Bible. I know it's a little bit awkward. Do you swear any testimony you will give today is the full truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please have a seat. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so you're a private investigator. How long have you been doing this?
I was a cop. I've been doing private investigating for 7 years. I have been a cop for 5.
Okay, so what experience do you have with schools and drugs?
I have gone through a lot of different places with a lot of different stories with drug abuse in different schools for about 5-ish years or so. Yeah, 5-ish years.
As they said, you found it in a weird hidden pocket, right?
Yeah, it was so well hidden, I almost missed it. And it was sort of very well hidden, I would say. Yeah.
And she was embarrassed about it?
Yes, she got really flustered and embarrassed when I pulled it out and asked if it was hers.
Okay. Thank you.
No further questions?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Okay, defense, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hello, Mr. Tilman.
Hello.
You're the private investigator?
Yep.
You've been a private investigator for 10 years?
Yep.
And you've been a police officer for 7 years?
Yep.
And you're hired and get paid to find drugs?
Well, I don't get. No, I did get hired. I just don't get paid.
And you almost missed the marijuana?
Yes, I almost missed it.
Is it very possible, if you almost missed the marijuana, that a high school student with no experience in the field of investigation would be able to find the marijuana?
Possible.
Thank you, Mr. Tilman. I have no further questions.
The prosecution, do you have any redirect? Do you have any redirect for this?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Tilman, you can step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Prosecution, do you have any other witnesses to call?
Yes, we call up Matt.
Okay, Matt, before you have a seat, I'm just going to ask you to raise your right hand, place your left hand on that Bible there. Do you swear any testimony you will give today is the full truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, please have a seat.
Hello, Matt. Please introduce yourself to the jury.
Hello, I am Matt. I'm one of Alli's students, and I was one of the 10 students that were searched by Mr. Tilman. And I've been going to school with Alli for 4 years, ever since I moved into the city.
Okay. Matt, your backpack was also searched by Mr. Tilman the day the marijuana was found in Alli's bag, correct?
Yes, my backpack was searched, and also my locker before Alli was searched.
The time Allie's bag was being searched for drugs, you were standing next to her, correct?
Yes.
On the day of the search, how did Allie look or seem when Mr. Tilman searched the marijuana backpack?
Alli seemed very nervous when Mr. Tilman started searching her backpack.
When Mr. Tilman pulled out the marijuana out of the hidden compartment in Allie's backpack, did Allie mention or say anything?
When he pulled out the marijuana, she said, "Oh no."
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions for this witness? Yes, Your Honor.
Isn't it true that you were standing next to Alli while the backpacks were being checked?
Yes.
Did Alli seem surprised when the marijuana was pulled out of her backpack?
Yes.
Did Alli deny that the marijuana was hers?
She said that she didn't know anything about it.
How long have you known Alli?
I've known her for 4 years, ever since I came to this school.
And isn't it true that you believe that Alli is a good kid?
She's never really been in trouble, but her friends have really been in trouble.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Prosecution, do you have redirect for this witness?
No. No, Your Honor.
Okay, Matt, you can step down.
Thank you.
Prosecution, call your next witness.
We call up Sandy.
Okay, Sandy, before you have a seat, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible. Do you swear any testimony you will give today is the full truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, please have a seat.
Hello, Sandy. What is your relationship with the defendant?
I'm Alli's science partner.
How has she been acting in class recently?
She hasn't been turning in her assignments and she blames it on other activities.
Has anything unusual or out of the ordinary happened in the lab with her recently?
Recently, she made an explosion in chemistry class.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Defense, do you have any questions for this witness? Yes, Your Honor. Okay.
What is your relationship with Alli?
I'm Alli's science partner.
Are you friends with Alli?
Yes.
How long have you been friends?
A few years.
She has never told you she's done marijuana, correct?
Yes.
Earlier you testified that Alli is not completing your work. Just to be clear, she told you that these missed assignments were from after-school activities.
Yes.
And you have also testified that you've been friends for a very long time, and she has never told you that she has done marijuana.
Yes.
No further questions, John.
Prosecution, do you have redirect for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, prosecution. Oh, you can step down, Sandy. Thank you. Prosecution, you can call your next witness.
We call up the principal.
Mr. Carmen, right?
Correct.
Okay, please raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible. Do you swear any testimony you will give today is the full truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, please have a seat.
Mr. Martin, please tell the jury who you are.
I'm the 5-year principal of Jackson High School.
Is there an incident that brought you in today?
Yes, lately there have been bad actors bringing drugs into the school, and Alli was just caught with the possession of marijuana.
Have you had any interactions with the defendant?
Yes, and I like Alli, but she has been slacking with her work, and her friends have been getting in trouble. That's when we found the marijuana, and we need to put an end to this problem.
Did you have to hire any new staff as a result of all of the drugs being brought into this school?
Yes, I had to hire a private investigator, Norman Tilman, to come and solve this problem.
Is this the investigator that caught Alli?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Is it true that you're the principal for 5 years?
Correct.
Is it true that you're paying a private investigator to solve the drug problem?
Correct.
Is it true that he didn't find anything for many days?
Yes.
Is it true that he found drugs in a zip compartment in Alli's backpack?
Yes.
Is it possible that Alli didn't see the compartment?
It is possible, but it's also possible that she knew about it and was trying to keep it hidden.
Is it true that you have known Alli for many years?
Yes, and I have known her. I like her, but her work has been slacking, and she's not doing as well as she used to.
Is it true that Alli claimed the drugs wasn't hers?
Yes.
No further questions.
Prosecution, do you have any other redirect for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Isn't it true that Alli has been slacking with her work lately?
Yes.
Isn't it true that she has had some bad friends making some bad actions?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Martin, you can step down. Prosecution, do you have any other witnesses to call?
No.
Okay, so the prosecution rests?
Yes.
Okay. All right, defense, you can call your first witness.
We call Rob.
Okay, Rob, before you sit, I'm just going to ask that you raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible. Do you swear any testimony you will give today is the full truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please have a seat.
What is your name?
My name is Rob.
Do you know why you're here today?
I'm here today because Alli has been accused of having marijuana in her backpack.
What's your relationship with Alli?
I'm Alli's cousin.
Were you with her when she bought the backpack?
Yes, I was with her.
Where did you buy it?
We bought it at a garage sale.
Who is the house owned by?
The house is owned by a bunch of college dropouts who used to be hippies.
What were they like?
They had long and loud parties that had to be broken up by the police.
Have you had experience with them before?
Yes, my mother has helped them fix their lawnmower and they have offered her marijuana.
Do you believe that Alli uses drugs?
No, I do not.
No further questions.
Prosecution, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hello. So, you know that this house is full of hippies that have drugs, correct?
Yes.
And you were with her when she bought the backpack, correct?
Yes.
And you knew the police came to the house often for very loud parties.
Yes.
Your mom, the defendant's aunt, fixed their lawnmower.
Yes.
And they didn't pay her with money, or
No.
try to.
No, they paid her with marijuana. Or tried to pay her with marijuana.
So they did offer her marijuana.
They did.
So these people were known for the marijuana?
Yes.
So you bought a backpack with your cousin Alli from a house that was known to have marijuana, correct?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any redirect for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Even with all that information, you had no reason to believe that the marijuana was in the backpack, correct?
No.
No further questions.
Okay, Rob, you can step down. Defense, you can call your next witness.
The defense calls Sam.
Okay, Sam, before you sit, I'm just going to ask that you raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible. Do you swear any testimony you will give today is the full truth so help you God?
Yes.
Please have a seat.
What is your name?
Sam.
Sam, what do you do?
I'm Allie's track coach.
As the track coach, you can tell if track students have been using drugs.
Yeah, I've seen kids using drugs before. In fact, it's so obvious that they are using drugs that I don't need a test. Their performance and changes show that their performance changes usually show that they have been smoking or using marijuana.
Has Alli shown any signs of drug use?
No.
And how was Alli during track?
Allie's a leader, and she's a good example. She is always the first to arrive and the last to leave.
You haven't had to kick Alli off the team for doing drugs?
No, she hasn't shown any sign of drug use. Her grades are fairly good, and she doesn't get into much trouble.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Prosecution, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yeah. Hello, Sam. Can you kindly mention to the jury your relations with the defendant?
I'm Sam. I'm Allie's track coach.
Do you have any solid evidence that the defendant did not possess the marijuana?
No.
Is it true that you did not give a drug test to the defendant?
Yes, or no, I haven't given a test.
You did not give a drug test to the defendant because of your experience as a track coach?
Yes.
So you thought the defendant did not possess the marijuana, correct?
Yes.
We can agree that you care for your students, especially the defendant, because she is such an asset to the team.
Yes.
And we can agree that you still did not test the defendant, even though she is such a big impact to the team.
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Defendants, do you have any redirect for this witness?
Yes.
Do you have experience with students on your track team doing drugs and kicking them off the team?
Yes. Oh, I've had many situations where I had to kick students off my team because they've shown signs of drug use.
And has Alli's performance declined in a way that would suggest smoking?
No.
Thank you, Sam. I have no further questions.
Sam, you can step down. Defense, you can call your next witness.
We call Miss Swanson.
Ms. Swanson, before you have a seat, I'm going to ask you to please raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible. Do you swear any testimony you will give today is the full truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please have a seat.
Please state your name.
Miss Swanson.
Miss Swanson, please tell the jury what you do.
I am the band director at Jackson School.
As the band director, you have Alli in your class?
Yes, she's a very talented in class. Does she work hard in your class? Yes, she's a very hardworking kid. Does she practice her instrument? Yes. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Prosecution, do you have any questions for this witness? Yes, sir. All right.
Hello.
Hello.
So you said she seemed distracted, right?
Yes.
And you don't think she's
No.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Defense, do you have any redirect for this witness?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Ms. Swanson, is it true that during the spring the students get very distracted? Yes. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Okay, Ms. Swanson, you can step down. Thank you. Defendants, you can call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. I call Alli.
Okay, Alli, please raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible. Do you swear any testimony you will give today is the full truth to help you God?
Yes.
Okay, please have a seat.
Please state your name.
Alli.
Are you currently attending school?
Yes.
Where do you currently attend school?
Jackson School.
Have you ever gotten in trouble during school?
No, but only when I'm talking.
Do you participate in any after-school activities?
Yes, I'm in the dance line, I play clarinet, I'm in a band, and I run track. I also work part-time at a neighborhood grocery store.
Are you aware what you were here today?
Yes, I'm wrongfully accused of having marijuana in my book bag.
Was the marijuana yours?
No.
Was the backpack that the marijuana was found in yours?
Yes, but I was not aware of the marijuana in it.
When did you buy the backpack?
On April 19th.
When were you accused of having the marijuana?
On April 22nd, a few days after I bought the book bag.
Where did you buy the backpack?
At a garage sale.
Why did you buy the backpack?
It was in good shape and cheap.
Did you buy the backpack with anybody?
Yes, my cousin Rob.
You bought the book bag with Rob. Did you know the marijuana was in the book bag?
I had no idea the marijuana was there.
Could you tell us anything about the house you bought the backpack from?
The house was owned by a bunch of adults who lived there since they graduated from college in 1976.
You've heard all of the testimony here today, so would it surprise you that your cousin described the house as owned by a bunch of adults that used to be hippies?
No, it would not surprise me.
To be completely clear, the marijuana that was found in your backpack that you bought from the hippie house, from the hippies, were not yours.
Correct. The marijuana is not mine.
No
I would
further-
never dream that buying a book bag would get me in that much trouble.
No further questions, John.
Prosecution, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Defendant, you said in your testimony that it would not surprise you that the backpack was owned by a bunch of hippies, correct?
Yes.
So you bought a cheap backpack at a house of hippies at a garage sale with your cousin at your cousin's neighbor's house, correct?
Yes.
So you bought a cheap, used backpack at a garage sale, had it for 3 days, and didn't search every pocket before you used it for all your stuff, and that's what you want us to believe?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any redirect for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. You had no reason to believe the marijuana was in the backpack, correct?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Alli, you can step down. Defense, do you have any other witnesses to call?
The defense, yes.
Okay. All right, at this time, then, the defense, you can present your closing.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Alli had no idea the marijuana was in her backpack. During opening statements, you heard my co-counsel say, "Imagine being charged with a crime you did not commit." Well, that is exactly what happened to Alli. Alli had not known the marijuana was in her backpack, that she purchased at a garage sale 3 days before, and never dreamed it would get her into so much trouble. Alli's a good kid. You heard from multiple witnesses that she was on the dance line, played clarinet on the track team, and worked in the neighborhood grocery store. She was a good kid who never got into real trouble before. You heard Miss Swanson, the band director, testify that Alli spent a lot of her free time practicing. Now the prosecution will claim that Alli's behavior and work have been slipping recently, but Miss Swanson explained that it is normal for students to be distracted in the spring. Miss Swanson did not think that Alli used drugs. You also heard Sam, Alli's track coach, testify that he knows when kids are using drugs and has kicked kids off the team before for using drugs. He does not think Alli was using drugs and said that she never showed any signs of using marijuana. In fact, even Mr. Martin, the school principal, testified that he always liked Alli and she was a fairly good student. Why would she ruin her life by bringing marijuana into school? She clearly didn't. She clearly didn't know the marijuana was in her backpack. Let's talk about where she purchased the backpack. Alli and her cousin Rob went to a garage sale on April 19th, 3 days before she was arrested, and her life was ruined. The garage sale was next to her cousin's house, Rob. A bunch of adult hippies have been living in that house since 1976. Bob testified that the house was owned by a bunch of adult hippies. The house had loud parties that had to be broken up by the police. In fact, Rob told you about how one of the guys at the house offered his mom marijuana. But Alli did not know that when she bought the backpack.
She saw the backpack in good shape and it was very cheap, so she bought it. Obviously, the marijuana was in the backpack when she got it, but the marijuana was in a small amount hidden in a zipper compartment on the inside of a backpack. You heard from the prosecution's witness, Mr. Tilman, who was a private investigator for 10 years and a police officer for 7 years. Mr. Tilman testified that it was a good place to hide it, and he almost missed it. He almost missed it. He had 17 plus years of experience and almost missed it. But yet the prosecution is expecting a high schooler to find it. Come on. Now let's talk about April 22nd, when Mr. Tilman found the marijuana in Alli's locker, in Alli's backpack, and it forever changed her life for the worse. Alli was mortified. You heard from the prosecution's witness, Matt, who testified that he was standing next to Alli when Mr. Tilman pulled out the marijuana from her backpack, and Alli said, "Oh no," because she did not know anything about the marijuana. Even Mr. Tilman testified that Alli was embarrassed and said she didn't know anything about the marijuana. Finally, you heard from Alli. You saw how upset she was getting about the marijuana in her backpack and how embarrassed she was because she had no idea that it was in her backpack. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the prosecution must prove beyond a reasonable doubt. That means you have no doubt in your mind that Alli is guilty of possession of marijuana. But how can she be guilty when she did not know that the marijuana was in her backpack, which she purchased only a few days before from a garage sale? The prosecution has failed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Alli knew the marijuana was in her backpack. Put yourself in Alli's shoes. She was a good kid, and if you find her guilty of this, it will ruin her life. Please, do the right thing and find her not guilty. Thank you.
Okay, prosecution, your pleasure.
Schools will stay a safe place, but only with proper justice being served to those like the defendant. You heard from a multitude of witnesses, including the principal of her school, who had to hire additional staff to deal with the large inflow of the possession and selling of illicit drugs. Also, a science lab partner, who witnessed an explosion in the lab caused by the defendant's own distraction. Furthermore, a close classmate who personally witnessed the defendant's exclamation of embarrassment to the drugs found in her bag. Finally, also, the private investigator who personally found the marijuana in her bag. You heard from her cousin, who stated that she bought the backpack from a known marijuana house, who once tried to gift his mother some as a thank you. The defendant is asking you to believe that any reasonable person would leave a used backpack just bought from a household known for their marijuana possession unchecked. There is only one choice here that makes sense of the evidence. It is that beyond a reasonable doubt that this defendant is guilty. The charge is possession of drugs, not the use of drugs, and she possessed them. Thank you for your time today and for your judgment of making the right and logical decisions.
Okay, jury. Members of the jury, you have heard all of the testimony concerning this case. It is now up to you to determine the facts. You and you alone are the judges of the facts of this case. You will then have to apply the facts to the law as I give it to you. The prosecution must set out such a convincing case against the defendant that the jury believes beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty. The law in this case is, it is a petty misdemeanor to possess or give away a small amount of marijuana. The law defines a small amount of marijuana as 42.5 grams or less. For the first offense, the court may fine the person up to $200 and require him or her to participate in a drug rehabilitation program. The case is now in your hands and you must decide. You head out to the hallway.
Deliberate. I just want to say that was a great job by both sides, and any given day, any jury would give a different answer. So there was no right answer. So no fighting about it. No wrong answer from any of you guys. We're going to talk about it. But if you could have the same facts, all of us know this, and one person on a jury can make a different decision. So there's not a right answer or a wrong answer. With that, sixth graders, come with me. Jude, my kids did my dog. Also easy. I think she's you wouldn't say it. Oh, yeah, sure. All right, let's all be quiet for a second. So Ms. Broglia probably knows better than I do as to how jurors work because she was on a jury.
I was on a jury this past summer. I was chosen. It was a criminal case, and it was definitely an experience that I probably would do it again. So we were about 12 of us, and we were in a room a little bit bigger than this, and we were there discussing, and we weren't allowed to talk outside of the room. We had to only talk about the case inside the room, and it had to be a majority. So person was charged with 3 different offenses. Thank you. And then we had to vote on if they were guilty or not guilty for each offense. So it was definitely an experience. So this is definitely kind of what it's like to be on a jury.
Sometimes I hear jurors will appoint a 4-person
Yes.
at a time, and they kind of lead the discussions.
They do,
right?
yes. We had a floor person, and they kind of led it. And when the verdict was to be announced, that person was the one who stood up and announced if it was guilty or not guilty for each of the offenses. And then we had disagreed. We were there for 4 days. I did have to go home, and I came back the next day because we had to be a majority. The whole group had to agree on all 3 offenses. It wasn't the majority like it was 4 against 3. It had to be everybody. And so we had to convince the other 2 jurors to kind of see our side of things too. So that was definitely a challenge in itself. Yeah.
So from the beginning, why don't we just say whoever, like, pick your question. What's it say?
Do you find the defendant guilty of possession of marijuana?
So do you find the defendant guilty of possession of marijuana? Those who say yes, raise your hand. And those who say no, raise your hand. Those who aren't sure, raise your hand. All right, those who said yes, why do you think she's guilty of possession? One at a time, please. Let's start on this side.
I think that she's guilty because why would she be like, oh no, if she didn't have it? I don't know. That's what I think. And why would she be all shy if she didn't have it? Like if she didn't. Yeah.
I think she's guilty because if you go to a place that's known to have marijuana and you didn't check the backpack that you got it from, that's just like very guilty to me. So
I have the same reasoning as Zoe. She should have checked it, or she should have just known and not already bought it from some people that had possession of it.
And her mom would have told her if they not to buy the backpack if it was in marijuana, or the one that fixed the cousin's mom would have told her, and she probably hid it in the like the sneakers pocket, cut so they wouldn't find it. And but yeah, same reason as Angel. She wouldn't say, "Oh no," she would be surprised.
Anyone else?
And those who thought not, why do you think not guilty?
Well, they said she was flustered and embarrassed, but if drugs were found in your backpack and you actually used them, rather than being embarrassed, you would probably more likely be shocked and more like, oh my gosh, instead. But like, I think the way she said, oh no, was not how they put it. I think she meant, oh no, how could this be? Because she didn't know about them.
You can go to
So, if it was like in like 1970 something, like what makes you think that it was like they put it in there and they didn't just forget about it? Because they said that they used to be hippies, not like that they're still hippies. And like everyone is saying that she's a good kid and she wouldn't do that, and she's not showing signs of that. So
Like, I still agree. Like, if the investigator missed it, how could she know? Like, she might have too.
Like, and the other side was changing up the story like twice. They said first the investigator said that he didn't get paid, then the principal was saying that they did pay him, and they were like changing up a couple times.
Anyone else? So I think that they're trying to get her in trouble.
I think that like they really believe that, but I don't think so.
What about the not sure people? Maybe their thoughts.
So basically, at one point, Rob goes first, and Rob says that it's a house of hippies who used to sell marijuana and all that stuff. But then when Alli went up, she sounded like she didn't even know about this. It's like no one told her. So she was like, oh, Rob, yeah, let's go to the garage sale. But no one told her, oh, yeah, this is a hippie house. Because Rob didn't tell her that, because then she would have been like, yes, I'm aware that they used to have drugs, but she never said that, so I don't know if that's true. And then at the same time, she could have checked the backpack, but then she could have not found the zipper. And it's just kind of complicated, because it's like a 50-50, really. So, I don't know.
I think she didn't have the marijuana because it's possible that she could have not found it since the investigator didn't find it. And also, yeah, along with Shania, it sounded like she didn't know that the house was full of hippies.
No one even told her.
Basically what like they said, but also they kind of changed the story too during it. Like, so for the first time when the prosecutors come up, so they said that the private investigator was working for 5 and 7 years, but people say that he was working for 17 years, 10, 7 years. I'm very unsure about that. So, yeah. Yeah.
So they were saying that she misses her work and stuff, and like that's like sometimes people mess up. Like I don't always turn in my stuff on time. That doesn't mean I'm doing marijuana.
I was thinking too, she has an after school job as well.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they drug test you there all the time. Like
Also, it said she had like 5 extracurricular activities. So, she did track, the job, band, and the instrument. I forgot what it was. Clarinet and something else. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that she was probably so tired that she wanted to get the marijuana or whatever marijuana, because she was like tired of all of her stuff, like because she was tired, so she missed out on her work and like the job. She was just annoyed, so she like purposely got it.
If you think about how she runs track and does about everything else, like all the other things, it would probably be obvious because of the way marijuana works. It would probably be obvious and affect her way of playing instruments and mess with her breathing, and same with the track, so which would make it obvious.
Or beyond a reasonable doubt, right?
I think because she was in possession of the marijuana and maybe not even using it, it's, I guess, dangerous for students in case they do find it and decide to use it. So I think she should at least get a fine for possession. But at the same time, isn't it like another like illegal thing to trespass, like by looking into other things? Isn't that like a violation of privacy?
Be to search
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, but no, like, but if it was a hidden pocket that the detective guy almost missed, and the girl is acting like she didn't know about, I'm not sure, how someone must have been thoroughly searching through her bag. That wasn't the private investigator to find that. So then it just doesn't make sense, because then they shouldn't be searching through their bag. Yeah. That's valid.
Yeah, why would she hide it?
Yeah, they would have had to.
How would she have noticed?
No, but it's like, for example, if someone was looking through the bag,
No, I'm
To
saying
get
if
it?
she put it in there somehow.
So if she was like, it doesn't say that she never ever used marijuana. Like everyone was saying that she never ever used marijuana. So like if like someone could be saying if she used marijuana, then it would take a little bit for like her like to stop performing as well in the extracurriculars. But like it's not gonna take that long for you to get messed up with using marijuana. So like she'd already be like pretty like have a whole bunch of like a cough or something. Yeah, it wouldn't take that long.
But I feel like it would be like I'm gonna give it to you. Calm down. I feel like it would be a slow incline.
Remember what you want to say in response.
I remember
They yell over each other, but we're not going to do that.
I feel like it'd be like a slow incline. First she'd try a little bit, then more, then more, and then more. Then it would slowly go downhill.
It didn't say she used it. It said that she had it in her bag. And it never showed any signs of her actually using it, so I don't think she used it at all. She could have had it, but
I mean, even if she was using it, I don't think it would like have an effect on her because it's like not that much, and she still had more left. So, yeah.
I agree with Angel because they said it was like 42 grams and she could just like sniff it and she'll be like okay.
One or
Like,
4.
Yeah.
So also, she but like I just forgot what to say, but like in like her all the other people, for her someone else to find it, they wouldn't just randomly check her. Someone else must have like saw her using it to check the bag because they wouldn't have known the secret pocket to check it.
Yeah, they were checking all
They
the people's
said there were
bags.
a bunch of drugs, like everyone.
Yeah, but like they wouldn't just check everyone randomly if no one else knew about it.
But Charlie, it was because everyone was using drugs in school because they had a known drug problem in school.
Yeah, but how would they know if someone had drugs that time?
Because they had a
were
known drug
searching
problem.
that.
How do they know it was? Why would
They
they
search
check
everybody.
Why would,
Everyone.
why would they check?
That's what they do. It's because it's like a routine check.
Why would they check?
So Zoe, if she used it, I mean, who said the incline part? Who said the? Oh, so if she was like inclining, wouldn't that affect her? If she kept using more and more and more, wouldn't that affect her too?
Just slowly, but like I'm thinking it was only that.
Yeah, but you're not gonna use like every 5 minutes of the day.
But she can use it like
That
each
will
day.
kill you.
I don't think she would like go in. Ooh, what's this? And then just try it all at once. I feel like she'd be
Yeah,
like,
but-
oh, and then she'd probably search videos and stuff.
Yeah, but then
Oh, what
again,
is
like
this?
you said before, Rob never told her about that. Neither did the mom.
I don't know.
Wait, if
What's the charge?
So
Possession of?
yeah.
Or the use of?
If they were hidden
Possession.
and they did marijuana, they would look like they did marijuana and she could see if they were like messed up.
Yeah, but also they were like
Like go.
and tried to hide it. It might have been in a big pocket.
I think because the question says guilty of possession, she should at least get a fine because she did possess the marijuana.
But what if she didn't know it was there? Yeah.
Well, she still did possess it.
She had no idea.
I want to say
Hey,
something.
that's like fraud. Because like someone could have fraud.
Yeah.
Can I? Can I say something? So if they sell marijuana, then that means they probably used to do it. So if they used to do it, then she would see like if they're like messed up. So if they looked messed up, why would you buy a book bag from them? Yeah, but there's some people outside
And-
like watching
Yeah.
to see if anyone sells their stuff.
If
Yeah, but that's how it is.
if it's a yard sale,
Yeah,
and like
it was a
she should know
garage
that
sale.
she should know that it's like used, and she should check
Exactly.
it. When I get stuff
But
like
she didn't check it.
from like those places, I check it because what if there's I don't know like a roach in there? Are you that scared? Like are you that scared?
So, should I? My bad. Okay, so if you buy it with a bag, girls. So if okay, so if you like. So if like you buy a bag of gummy bears, you're gonna check it before you buy it.
Yes.
What
Before you're allowed to open.
No, but they're looking. That's different. That's different.
They're not using
You could just look at it.
Exactly, just look at it. If you see anything weird in it, just like don't buy it.
I said inside.
So
That's
like
matter.
check inside the gummy bears. Then you would see it because
If-
when
when
the
you go
gummy
to-
bear wrapper is clear.
When you go to like thrift stores and stuff,
not inside
you
the
can
bag,
open the
I'm
stuff.
in the
Yeah.
gummy bear.
The investigator almost missed the pocket.
Yes.
Pay attention to details.
He's like trying to percent. Yes, so she
But they kept switching it up. Yeah, but she could have took it and then she could have put it somewhere else, and that's why she said, "Oh no," because she thought she hid it good or something like that.
But how
But we
other
don't
way
know.
would you say that?
Yeah, but how other way? Like, oh no, I didn't do that. Like you would do, oh no.
Yeah, how do you know if it's like a different tone?
Like if it was oh no, then there would be a
Yeah, but like
you're on
you-
our side now.
No,
You don't even have the script. How would we know?
It can go either way because like you don't know if they're saying like you don't
What type
know,
of
but like
oh
you can
no?
also say like in the way like you did know.
What do you mean?
Oh,
Oh no.
yeah.
It doesn't show them. It doesn't show proof that
This is what
she said it.
That's what you wanted.
Also,
Well, if you really think about it, I mean, if you were caught doing drugs, why would you yell out, "Oh no," and make them think? She might have, like, they heard her say it. So if she was actually doing them, I think more likely she would have said like, "Oh no," like under her breath, if she was doing them. But yelling it out so that everybody can hear it might make her more suspicious. And if she was actually doing them, I don't think she'd actually like say that because she'd have to think about it before saying it.
she definitely hit it. She said definitely like
How?
Because she's so.
How? If the investigator didn't see it, that has 17 years of experience.
It was probably
Yeah, but
in the
how?
pocket.
How did she find it?
And she
No, it was not in the main pocket because
How do you know?
they literally said that the pocket was hidden.
Yeah, they don't know.
So how was it? Okay, no, hold on. Let me say something. Let me say it might be.
They don't know if she had it before and like it was in the main pocket. It doesn't say.
It wasn't in the main pocket
How do you know?
because that's what they said.
How do you know it wasn't?
Because they said yes, they did.
They said it was on the inside.
Yeah, it was a hidden.
What if she like took it and
Exactly,
she
that's what he's
she
saying.
got it and hid it in that secret pocket.
She had possession of marijuana.
Yeah.
Like that. But that's still a fine. That's still a fine.
So this might be just because they were like. It might be just because they were like nervous, but like because they were like up there and stuff. But the people that were saying that that she like didn't have it and stuff.
But the person that was with her said that she was nervous.
Yeah, but we did.
And if you didn't do it, then why would you be nervous? You would be shocked.
No. Listen. If I was getting checked for marijuana or any drugs, I'd be nervous.
Yeah, especially knowing if you
Like-
have friends that are like that.
Like if
that are like that. They
So
can
you're telling me if you're around people that all the time that do marijuana and stuff, like and like you're all around them all the time, you wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's not the argument though. That's not. I just bit the mic.
Okay.
That's not the argument though.
That's fine. A normal jury would sit here for days.
Yes. That's not the argument though because.
Hold on. You guys are doing a good job respecting each other and articulating your thoughts. Why don't we, are you guys comfortable if I poll you in front of them and say, do you find guilty or not guilty? And you each say what you believe?
Yeah.
Okay. And let me ask, how many people say she's guilty? 1, 2, 3, 4, and how many say not guilty? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that a hand up? You were guilty.
I still don't know.
You still don't know.
Sure, so it's 6, 4, and 1.
Got it. 6 were not guilty. Right, 6 not guilty.
6 not, 4 guilty.
All rise.